We are live. This is the Health, Love, and Life Show with me, Coach Arnie, and we are on the WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, radio, TV, and podcast, #1 internet talk network. And thank you again to CC Schatz for allowing us to have this opportunity to talk. So, especially today when a lot of folks are just struggling to figure stuff out. And feel free to give me a call at 602-390-9144. I'd love to talk to you about anything that's bothering you. You can also email me or text me at that phone number, and let's set up a time to talk. Let's have a virtual meeting. And there's the title, Regaining Lost Health and Fitness Post-COVID. Well, we're not post-COVID yet. Some places will be tomorrow and have been this week. But I just wanted to bring this topic up and have a discussion because we did a couple of shows early in the year about goal setting, and always around the first, everybody's talking about losing weight and getting healthy and getting to the gym. Now what we're going to run into is, was it two? I know one's chain, maybe two. Different gyms. One, a big chain, has filed for either bankruptcy or some type of protection because they're going under, and depending where you're at. So even if you did join a gym, you may not have a gym to go back to. So that's a pickle. So I just thought, let's back up. Put her in reverse a little bit. Let's have a discussion on what you could be doing now, because what I see happening, what I've observed so far, discussed with people, is a vast majority of people are in stall pattern. They're waiting. They're waiting for someone to say go, because they've never had to develop a at-home workout program or a nutrition program. They've always had somebody tell them what to do and then keep them accountable. And that's why a lot of people struggle when they don't go to the gym, but then the gym becomes a hassle. Get it? They struggle with creating the right kind of food or meals, because unless they're told exactly what to eat, they struggle. So we're far enough now along into the year that most of you who set those goals, it's probably not working for you. And then you combine that with somebody telling you to stay home, and you get a little anxious. You run to the store, you grab some comfort food, and voila, there goes your goals. And you go, well, it doesn't really matter anyways, because I can't date. I can't see anybody that I really want to see anyways. I got to see maybe some close friends or family. And I'm not going out to the bars. I don't have to get into my good-looking dresses and slacks. It doesn't really matter. So you kind of let it slide. And I know how that feels. Look, I made it a goal a month ago. I was going to get in even better shape during the quarantine. Better shape. 2 weeks later, I got an infection in my leg called cellulitis. And man, I think I mentioned it here. It was horrible. It was horrible. I mean, for me to miss a workout is a big deal, but I didn't even want to go to the gym, and I have a private gym. I didn't even want to go because I was in so much pain. It was like, even though the doctor said I could have gone, but man. So I ended up taking my grandson. But talk about taking a good old swift kick and where. So, but back to my normal training. I did lose some ground, but remember now, I haven't stopped working out forever. I mean, so I guess God has a way of putting me in my place. Every once in a while, he'll give me an injury here and there. But I try to avoid injuries by training at a pretty low level. So, yeah. But for some of you, it's easier to not work out than it is to work out. I get this. This is what I've been doing my whole life. For 40 years, I've been trying to answer this question for people. Why is it so easy for me to go to the gym? And why do I struggle so much is the question. And part of the answer is because I've been doing this my whole life. I enjoy it. I enjoy tinkering with my body and figuring things out. Doesn't mean I haven't had situations where I wanted to get in better shape, lose weight, even gain weight. But for most of us, getting to the gym and eating better is a big deal. It's a commitment. And when you can't make that commitment anymore and you're almost kind of given a free pass, look, you don't have to worry about it. Like I said earlier, you don't have to worry about being in great shape because no one's going to see you anyways. There you go. So we have this dilemma. So as people start to come out of this thing, what are you going to do? Well, my suggestion is make a plan and start now. I mean, I don't know what you can do where you live. Can you go for a walk? I would get up. I would get myself up early, because once you create a habit of getting up early, then you have a lot more flexibility in your day. I would get up early. I'd go for a walk. And I'm going to just walk you through what I teach people on a normal basis. If you're telling me, Coach, I can't get up early, I'm going, great. Okay. Starting tomorrow, set your alarm 5 minutes earlier than you normally would. So if you get up at 6 or 7 or whatever time you get up, set it for 5 minutes to 6. And then when that alarm goes off tomorrow morning, reach over, turn it off, keep your eyes open for a couple minutes, and just go, I did it. I got up. Didn't kill myself. Didn't die. And then lay there for 5 minutes and then get up and do your normal thing. I want you to do that all week. Yeah. Do it for a week. Just get up 5 minutes early. And after a week, I'm going to ask you a question. How are you doing at getting up early? I did it. Wow. Good for you. All right. Now let's throw another wrinkle in there. Let's get up 5 minutes early. Let's get up five more minutes. So we're going to 10 minutes now. Because 5 of those minutes, we're going to get up and walk around our bedroom hallway for 5 minutes. You don't have to have any special clothes on, shoes, nothing. I don't care. You can be naked for all I care. Stand up, move around for 5 minutes. I want you to do that for a week. Come on, Coach. That's not how you lose weight. Come on, man. Follow me. So we're in 2 weeks into this thing so far. 2 weeks. Hang on a second here. I'm going to make a note here. Okay, now, third week. I want you to, the night before, I want you to lay out your whatever you're going to wear. I don't know where you're at. Shorts, tights, sweats. I don't care. T-shirt, hat, shoes, whatever it takes. So we're going to add another 5 minutes. This time you're going to get up, going to get dressed, going to put on your shoes and socks and all that good stuff. Then you're going to go out in the backyard. If you don't have a backyard, go in the front yard. If you don't have a front yard, go in the street. I don't care. And you're going to walk around for 5 minutes. So 5 minutes to get up, 5 minutes to get dressed, 5 minutes to go for a walk in your gear. So what'd you have to do? Well, the whole week, you had to get ready. You had to get your stuff ready. You had to get your shorts ready. You had to know what you're going to eat. What? Now, do I worry about this kind of stuff? Maybe before a big adventure run. But normally I know where all my stuff is. I just go to it. You don't. But you will. So take 5 minutes, get all your gear together the night before. So the next morning you just roll through it. So now you've got 3 weeks. We're up to 15 minutes. And you're outside walking in your fully dressed workout gear. That's not bad. Now, if you're one of these ones going to ride a bike in the house, good. Then you're 5 minutes on the bike. Or you're 5 minutes on a treadmill. I don't care. Or maybe it's in the gym. Maybe you have a home gym. I don't care. 5 minutes. So we're up to 3 weeks and we're doing 5 minutes of exercise. You're thinking, Coach Arnie, you are a mess. This is going nowhere fast. Yeah, but you know what? 3 weeks into your other program at the gym, you were a friggin' hot mess, meaning that you were hating life because you couldn't figure out where all your wet stuff was going to be. You couldn't figure out how to get all your kids organized and who's going to pick them up after school if you were running to the gym and blah, blah, blah. And you couldn't figure out who's going to do your laundry because all your clothes were wet, stinky. You lost your lock, couldn't find a parking space. In 3 weeks of my program, you're going, come on, man, pick this thing up. All right, let's pick it up. So the 4th week, we're going to be a month into this doggone thing. Instead of walking for 5 minutes or moving for 5 minutes, we're going to add 15 minutes. So you're going to go for a 20-minute walk. 20-minute walk or bike ride or workout. I don't know. Call me. I'll tell you what to do for 20 minutes. But that's plenty of time to do stuff. Heck, in my first 20 minutes of my day, I do 10 minutes on a mini tramp. And then I do 5 minutes what's called flexor mobility exercises for my core. And then that's only 15. So I got another 5. So who knows? By that time, I'm heading out the door to the gym. Or I go out like I did this morning and pull a heavy tire for a mile. But I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you to move. So in week 4, you're going to be moving for 20 minutes. So let's see here. From 0 to 20 in 1 month. Yeah. And I guarantee you can do it because you're going to be slowly moved into it. It's like turning up the flame on a frog, the heat. So that's month number 1. Month number 2, let's work our way up just 10 more minutes. 30 minutes. Month number 3, 90 days, let's add another 15 minutes. So after 90 days, you're doing 45 minutes. And maybe, I'm going to be really gentle now. Maybe after, 4 months, that's 4 months, let's add another 5 minutes. So up to 50 minutes. Then 5 months, we're going to do 55 minutes. In 6 months, you're going to be doing 1 hour of movement. Let me tell you something. And I took you up kind of gradually. Sometimes I've taken up people even slower than that. Because even if it took you a year to get to an hour, I just changed your life. Because everybody that's listening to this right now that can get up in 6 months from now, be moving 60 minutes a day, every day, moving, riding a bike, working out, you have changed your life. All because you started with figuring out how to get up early. That's how it works. Every single time. So if you're stuck right now because you've been quarantined and you quit on the gym and you quit on this, you quit on that, you're eating crappy food, we just started you on your movement for an hour. That's it. There's your program. If you need me to write it down, get a hold of me. but I think you got it. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Now let's go to the hard stuff. That was the easy stuff. The hard stuff is what goes in here. And that is even harder today because of what's going on with this quarantine. Because every time I go to the store, which is less now because there's where I go, there's not a limitation on water. I like to get my water once a week at the store. So I was able to stock up this weekend, and actually I went in there today because I'm going for a big long hike tomorrow night. I'm doing a night hike. Yeah, crazy. So I'm going to do a night hike because it's a little warm here. It's got over 100, but I'm going to just because I was going to do something else, but I decided, time to throw in a night hike. So I'm going to do about a 6 or 7 hour night hike. Yeah, go figure. So I figured I better pick up a couple of gallons of water. So I went in the store and picked up some water. So I'm good to go now. And probably won't have to go again until early next week. So that's good because for a while there, I was having to go every day to pick up a gallon or two. And that was terrible. So eating. So the point of that whole tirade was I was getting anxious looking at people's baskets. It's like, oh, God. These are people eating some really bad stuff. I mean, processed foods. And we've talked about this when I talked about my hopeful principle. And I'm actually going to talk tonight a little bit about my 5 great life teachers. Just did another show on it. But yeah, I was getting anxious looking in people's baskets because I don't want to judge people, but man, when you look at people's baskets and you see just processed foods and soda and just really terrible things, you know what's happening here. And then when you see, I mean, literally, it was Thursday, so I was in the store around 3:30, and I saw them, and I know this happens a lot. I saw numerous people walking out with 12 packs and 24 packs of beer, 2 or 3 bottles of wine. It's like, I know what's going on because there's nowhere to go. You can't go to the movies. You can't go out to dinner. So we're going to stay home and drink a 6-pack of beer, a 12-pack of beer, or we're going to drink, half a bottle of wine while we have a pizza. That's the recipe for disaster. And we all can justify it by going, well, we can't do anything. Yes, you can. You can get healthy. You can get healthy. That's what this show's all about tonight. What can you do to beat this thing back? So you get a little running start here. I want you to have a running start. I don't want you to be sitting around wondering why your immune system is shot. One of the things that scares me the most about what's happening right now is staying at home, covering yourself up, which is fine, but it doesn't do anything to challenge your immune system. So when you go back out into the real world, you will be immune challenged because you haven't done anything for the past month or so to challenge your immune system, get stronger. So I think that's going to cause another layer of predicaments here because you got to challenge your immune system, get a little stronger, and again, it's just, and eating processed food and alcohol will weaken your immune system. Just a fact. Just a fact. So before we take a quick break here, I'm going to leave you with a thought, and then we're going to come right back to it, is that 2 things you got to work on right now, starting today. Processed foods and excess sugar, which includes alcohol. We've got to really control those things. We've got to control those things, okay? We really do. And if we're not controlling those things, then we're going to be in trouble, okay? we're going to be in trouble. So let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the Health, Love, and Life Show. And I'm Coach Arnie. All right, here we go. This is the Health, Love, and Life Show with Coach Arnie, and excuse me. But so yeah, what we feed ourselves is probably much more important than how we move our body. Yeah, but I never start with it because it's hardest thing to do. See, when we move, it's the easiest thing to do because you feel good. I can change your deal right now. Bam, just by getting you up and if I do workshops, a lot of times I'll, before I start, I'll say, everybody stand up and move around a little bit. Come on, let's go. Halfway through, if I see a head start to go, whoop, I go, come on, everybody stand up. Let's move around. Say hi to your neighbor, Bam, bam, bam. Get moving because you can energize yourself very quickly. But you can't do that with food. Now, I can. If you put a nice ribeye in front of me, I will be happy. I will be ready to do a dance, okay? But that's me. But if you haven't figured that out yet, your comfort food is a burden. And it's going to slow you down. It's not going to energize you. It's going to make you feel it's like cocaine on the cocaine receptors in your body. And it's going to kind of feed that addiction a little bit, because it is an addiction. I mean, I've done work with food addiction. It's real. Yeah. It is just as harsh, if not more, than cocaine, alcohol, marijuana, even though they say you can't get addicted to that, but I think you can, psychologically anyways. But food is physically and psychologically addicting. And it's the only drug that you will die without using it. Everything of that? It's crazy. So we got to be careful here. We got to make sure that you're eating the right foods for you. They may not be for me. You may be totally grossed out by a ribeye steak. More for me. But technically, it might not work for you. You might do better with a nice salad and maybe some beans and some other things to work out some protein issues, or I don't know, a smoothie shake. I don't know, but we have to find out. We have to find what works for you. I mean, works for you, not that feels good and not that makes you feel good as far as your emotions go. See, that's the difference. A lot of people have it in their mind that eating certain food makes them better, makes them more sophisticated, makes them more nuanced. And in the meantime, they're hurting themselves. Yeah, happens a lot. Happens a lot. There's also a great fear of being judged by your family, your friends, neighbors, people you hang around. If you're somebody that likes to enjoy a nice steak, or maybe you like fish and people around you don't like the smell of it. Oh, you can't cook that terrible fish anymore. That's horrible. So you don't cook it. So you end up having what everybody else has, processed food or pizza or whatever. Doesn't matter anyways, right? So we have to find what works for you. Then we have to tinker with it, make it work better for you. So you start throwing in good nutrition with whole foods, vegetables, meat, fish, whatever. I mean, whatever if you need to eat some kind of grains, maybe some high quality grains as well. Fruit. I love having what I call my frozen dessert, which is frozen blueberries. And I have that with some dark chocolate. That's my dessert, a couple days a week. So we've got to figure, that took me years to figure out. guys. I didn't just figure it out. You know, I figured that one out. I don't know how many years ago now. My sister gave me a bag of blueberries and frozen ones. And who buys frozen blueberries? I always bought the regular blueberries and just threw them on something or put them in a smoothie, or didn't matter. So one day I was out of blueberries and I went in and got, oh, look at this. I got a bag of frozen blueberries right here. And I opened that bag up and I had a couple of them. I go, that's really good. I wonder if I froze blueberries next time I bought them, how they would taste. They taste amazing. Now I don't even like to eat regular blueberries. I like frozen ones better. It's like little ice cubes. So you got to figure this stuff out. And that's how we tinker with things. That's why you can't be on even though all these systems work. I'm not going to say they don't work, because they do work. Problem is what happens when you come off of them, which is why they run all these commercials every year. I have a feeling, because of what's going on right now, that these eating companies are going to be really cranking it up here in the next month or so. Maybe now. I don't watch TV, so maybe they're doing it now. Maybe they're telling you, hey, get on, Nutrisystems or Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers, whatever. They might be cranking them up right now because they know that people have put on a lot of weight sitting at home. I'm not saying they don't work. I'm not saying it's the highest quality of foods. I'm not saying they don't work. I just know this. They're not designed for you. You have to figure out what works for you and then tweak it. And that way you own it. So after 3 months, 6 months, a year, you don't have to buy into somebody's stupid program. You have your own program to work. That's exactly right. So we have to figure out what we're going to eat under our guidelines. Guidelines: reduce processed foods and eliminate excess sugar. Got it? So those are our guidelines. Now from there we start. We put things together. Start to put their program. Now in the meantime, remember, you're getting up, you're walking. Maybe you're in the, first month, second month, third month, fourth month, fifth, sixth. You're out there humping away. And now, remember, I never tell my clients, never ever give it on scale. Don't want you on the scale, but I want you to be on the lookout for, in case your clothes start to feel a little better, in case you can look in the mirror and go, hey, that's not too bad. Okay. Now we start to work in eliminating processed food, maybe for a month, eliminating excess sugar for a month. And then maybe the second month, we're going to try to eat. Maybe we want to try some red meat. Try some red meat. I don't like that. Maybe try some pork. I don't like that. Maybe try some chicken. I don't like that. Maybe try some fish. Hey, I like the fish stuff. Okay. So you got fish. There's your protein, good protein source for you. Maybe you want to have broccoli or spinach or squash. I'm so proud of myself. Last night, I took a giant spaghetti squash, called my daughter up. Okay, now you told me the other day, she was here a week or so ago, how to soften this sucker up so I can cut it open. She had 5 minutes in the microwave. So I punched the hole, hit it with a fork a little bit, because they're hard, they're big. 5 minutes on the microwave, and then I cut it open, took out all the seeds, put it in some water, put it on for 20 minutes. Bam! I got a great spaghetti squash. I love it. Now, so you have to figure out, because I know that squash works for me. I like the taste. It's what I call a low toxicity carbohydrate. And I love them. So I like all different kinds of squashes. I mean, I'm always eating squashes. So you got to figure out what works for you. So in this period of time, while you're cranking up your activity, you're learning how to eat. So now here's what's happening. So now you have exercise cranks up a little faster. Get it? Because we're moving right along. Eating, coming over here, eating's a little flatter. But then at some point, it's going to start doing this. because once you learn what you're going to eat, once you learn about portion control, once you learn about all these different things, all of a sudden, you're going to go up. Just like with the 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30, bam. So pretty soon, bam. You'd be surprised, because then I've got a client right now, and he's lost, I want to say 20 pounds, maybe more. Either way, but he's having fun now, because he's gone through the let's get in shape phase of this thing. He's gone through the, okay, what do I need to eat phase. So now he's cranking it on. I was even sharing with him the other day. I said, I could see you, and I picked the weight. It was like 40 pounds lighter than he is now. And, he didn't blink. So he's thinking about it. What would I look like 40 pounds down? Yeah. So he's in the I can get excited about this phase, because he's past the this sucks phase. Remember when we talked about change, that when you go through this change, it's chaotic. It's horrible. Oh, my God. That's why most of you quit the gym, because it was horrible, uncomfortable, dealing with all the nonsense, people, parking, dirty clothes, kids screaming, not enough time for them to make dinner. If you're married, maybe your spouse isn't helping you. It's a disaster. Maybe you get accused of being selfish. God forbid. So all these stressors are hitting you, whereas when I showed you it was no big deal. Gradual. Okay? And then when you get those two things working together, guys, you have got yourself a program, and you will stick to it, and you will make progress, and you will be proud of yourself. Now, remember, these are some of the same things we talked about early in the year. I don't care if it's January, December, or April, or May tomorrow. This stuff works. And you can do it if you want to. If you don't want to, then it's not going to work. Just don't complain about it. Please don't go, oh, that exercise stuff, that doesn't work. That eating right stuff, come on, that's for the birds. Nobody's going to do that silly stuff. That's on you. You weren't willing to do it. If you're not willing to commit minimum 90 days, don't start. You will be frustrated. You'll be angry, and you'll be one of the ones running out there. That exercise stuff doesn't work. That eating stuff, that's for the birds. I'm going to have my pizza. I'm going to have my sub sandwich. I'm going to have this. I'm going to have that. And for dessert, I'm going to have a brownie with some ice cream on it. That's okay. Doesn't bother me. So, but just don't say what I do doesn't work, because it works. But I also study the research. I know that 50% of Americans, 50, don't do any exercise at all. Yep. And I'll just do it this way. Next time that you're at the grocery store, don't be obvious. Walk around, look in people's carts nonchalantly, and notice what food is in there. Keep a tally in your head. I don't know, keep a tally in a piece of paper on your cart. And think about a percentage of people that have no clue about nutrition. The percentage. So let's say that you saw 50 carts that day. If 40 out of 50 had no clue, what's that? 80%? 80%. Okay. If 45 out of 50, 90%. I don't know. But you need to figure that out. But for the most part, we don't have a clue about all that stuff. And it is up to you. It is up to you to decide what's going to work for you, and then figure out a way, like we just talked about, to stay with it. Stay stay in the game and show yourself that after a month, you got this thing. After 90 days, you're in. After 6 months, you're changing your life. Because now when those two things have come together, now you're actually losing body fat, not body weight, body fat. That's why I don't measure with the scale. I measure with the, pinch, or I'll measure with, go, blockage in my brain there. Clothes, how your clothes fit, or a waist measurement, period. That's it. Or the mirror. If you can stand to look at yourself in the mirror, full body, then you're on the right track. If you're not, you just have great self-esteem. So one way or the other, you're doing great. Okay. But for most of us, when we can kind of, remember I showed earlier, if we can kind of look through there and go, hey, that's not so bad. We're on the right track. And I promise you, if 6 months is changing your life, what's going to happen after a year of eating better, exercising, and just generally taking care of yourself? We haven't even talked about spiritual stuff yet. Prayer, meditation, powerful stuff if you do it. Powerful stuff if you do it. So if you're not, let's take the next 5 minutes and discuss this a little bit. If you are out there and you're in the middle of this COVID nightmare, but then you start to see the light of the tunnel, but you started moving, and then you're going to work on eating better. Maybe the next time you go to the store, you're going to stock up on some good food. You're going to prove Coach Arnie wrong. You're going to say, look at my basket. You're going to take a picture and you're going to show it to me because I'm going to eat better. I'm going to take care of myself. And so you do all that stuff. And, as you start to change these things, you start to change your life. You start to change your life, and why? Because you made a decision that this is the way it was going to be. You were going to eat better. You were going to exercise, and you were going to work on your mental side. So let's finish up that thought, meaning that you're going to start maybe journaling a little bit. You're going to start practicing some gratitude. Maybe it's your prayer. I have a morning journaling prayer activity that I go through every day, 7 days a week, unless I'm out on an adventure. And hopefully I'm not going to need a prayer when I'm out on an adventure. But in the meantime, that gratitude work is amazing. It takes the focus off of you and puts the focus back on other people. See? So instead of worrying about you, you can worry about other people. And that really works if you're confident in yourself. If you're confident in this person right here, and you're not having to worry about being offended, being annoyed, being judged, being, whatever. Any of those things. Then you're in a great spot. You're in a great spot to help people. You're in a great spot. If you're not, if you're not offended by all that stuff. So guys, listen. If you're in a situation where you can get started tomorrow, then you need to start, because what we want to do, as I said earlier, we want to create momentum. We want to get a running start to tomorrow. We want a running start so that when tomorrow shows up, you're not sitting there twiddling your thumbs going, oh, maybe I should have done something. Yeah, maybe you should have done something, but you didn't. That's okay. Start. I've told this story before. The best time to plant a tree would have been 25 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is today, because You know, if people listen, if you just get started today, you got a shot at this thing. But if you're waiting around for other people to start, if you're waiting around for other people to acknowledge what you're doing, if you're waiting around for any of that stuff, you're wasting your time. Most people are risk averse. Well, what does that mean? It means they don't want to take a chance. They don't want to take it. They don't want to mess stuff up. I don't want to get political here, but people in this country are very reluctant to take a chance, which means you lose you're complaining. You lose that ability because you had your chance and you didn't take it. And so there you are. You're in a pickle. You're in a pickle because no one's going to take you seriously. So you can't just say, "Hey guys, I'm in this thing now. I'm gonna really help you out." No, you're going to be treated. Here's a little biblical story for you. If you haven't heard of Saul to Paul, I'm always kind of teasing people with that. Saul to Paul. Well, if you don't know who Saul was a brutal killer. Yeah, Saul killed Christians for fun. And how about that? He was not a nice guy until one day God put him in his place. The point of this story is after that, he was visiting other groups. And the other apostles went, "Whoa, that guy's a killer. I don't want him around here." Well, is that how people feel about you? You know, that you're not going to do it anyways? You're not going to make the changes necessary because you're Saul. Except people, when Paul came back, people didn't understand who the heck this guy was and how powerful he was because of who he was and what he knew. You're the same way. You have the same opportunity, okay, to make your big transition, to make your big change if you want to. And I don't know if you want to or not. I don't even know what you would change to, from, or whatever. But I don't care about that. What I do care about is I want you to be better. And if that means eating better food, well, do what you can to eat better food. If that means exercising, great, do it. If that means following my protocol for getting you up to an hour in 6 months, great. If not, you have no excuses. None. But people love excuses. They love, to complain and blame things away instead of going, "I screwed up. That was my fault." Yeah, you did screw up, and it is your fault. Own it. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But in the meantime, we have to push forward and take responsibility for our actions so that now when we restarted with planting our tree, we can look back and go, "I did it. I did it. I put that sucker in the ground. I am ready. To make some change in my life." And it's like, "Hey, I put it in the ground and I'm ready now to pay attention to my wife. I'm ready now to pay attention to my girlfriend. I'm ready now to whatever you're going to do." No, that never works. It's short term. It's short-term thinking. You know what works? Make a decision. It's the hardest thing in the world is to make a decision. It is super hard to make a decision. Have you seen politicians out there? It's the only thing I'm going to talk politically tonight. They can't make a decision to save their you know what. So usually people tell them what to think and tell them what decision to make. Okay? I don't want you to do that. I want you to be on top of your world. I want you to be on top of your life. And I want you to be positive and make changes where you think you need to make changes. That's the only way we're going to get back on track and get your health cranking again. All right? Get that weight off, get your health feeling good, and you're good to go. And then you learn a great strategy for when this crap happens again to you, because it's probably going to happen again. But don't let it. Fight that off too. All right, guys. This is Coach Arnie with the Health, Love, and Life Show. I appreciate you guys listening to my ranting here. But hopefully some of this stuff makes sense to you. Make the changes starting either tonight or tomorrow. It'll make a difference in your life. All right, guys. Love you.